Hey there, Tracy Cotton with Morrow Insurance Agency. Wanted to catch up with you again on another segment about agritourism. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about a question that I get frequently. And the question comes in different forms, but it all actually has the same answer. I have people who say, well, I've got a farm owner's policy and I'd like to start having weddings at the farm. Is that covered? I would like to start bringing school kids out and doing a summer camp. Is that covered? I would like to start having a festival every spring out in the pasture. Is that covered? And the answer, if you've not already talked to your insurance agent, if it's not actually spelled out somewhere on your policy, the easy answer to all those questions and many, many more of the same vein is no. The home and the farm policy were both designed for covering a residence underneath the farm owner's policy. There's an agribusiness policy that's out there as well that covers where somebody actually just has strictly a working farm without a residence on it, or is actually doing more production type of activities on the farm. A dairy, cheese makers and things like that. They actually have a separate agribusiness form. And some agribusiness policies actually can anticipate there being visitors. But the kind of visitors that we're talking about with agritourism is typically still not what is anticipated from having just a storefront. So underneath the farm owner's policy or even an agribusiness type of policy, there may be some anticipation from the company that you could have a farm stand where people pull up, they come in, they grab some fruits and vegetables, your honey, your preserves, whatever, and they purchase them and then they leave. Or they come by your property and they want to take a look at some of your goats because they're thinking about buying one of your goats. Those kinds of things are typically already just kind of built in because that's a regular aspect of farming. Agritourism is not a regular aspect of farming because it's bringing people out that aren't employees, that aren't looking there just strictly to come to make a purchase in a confined section of the property. They're out there with you. They're out there experiencing the farm. There's activities you're providing for them that can be farm related, like hay rides, but you're not just hauling hay, you're hauling people. So those are the distinctions there that you need to be kind of careful of. And so what my advice to everyone is to first start out by having a conversation with your insurance agent as to what it is that you want to do on your property, and then find out if it's something that can be just added on. I actually have a farm that used to be a camp, but they don't use it as a camp anymore, except for a couple times a year. They may have a number of folks out for like a father-son retreat, or they may have some folks out from a youth group. It's not a regular activity, and we're probably only talking about maybe 100 people a year that are actually coming through the property. And so the company that I've got that farm with, all they did was basically add on some additional business liability for that exposure, knowing that it's a small exposure. And they just tacked a dollar amount onto it. It was a very reasonable amount. But for somebody who's doing something different, like some folks that I've been talking with that are actually thinking about building, not just thinking about, they're planning to build a museum with a little village that has gift shops and a snack bar, having an interactive hiking trail, and getting folks to be able to interact also with their wild ponies. And so that's what the whole museum would be about. And it would be a nonprofit. Well, this is all stuff that's not going to be automatically covered underneath their farm owner's policy. In this particular case, they are looking at the idea of having a separate policy entirely for this operation. They'll have a separate entity for it because it's going to be a nonprofit. And minimum premium is going to be a lot steeper on it because of the number of people that are going to be anticipated to be there. Whatever it is that you're doing out there, just know that it is something that will increase your premium, but that it's also something that I see as being the future of value-added agriculture. The idea that people want to come out and experience your farm. They want to spend time there, whether it be staying on the premises in a little cabin or camping out somewhere on your back 40, or just getting to come out and walk around and see, what it looks like to have a milking process, what it looks like to actually sort through different types of grains and so forth to get them ready for market. So it could be something as simple as a farm tour that you want to make sure that your insurance agent is clear on, and sometimes it could be added on to your current policy, and sometimes it might be something that you would want just strictly for the event itself. If maybe it's just a single weekend that you're going to be doing a festival, or if it's an ongoing type of business activity, agritourism activity, that you might need a separate policy entirely that covers just that risk. The variables are so broad out there, and I will tell you that it's something that a lot of insurance agents haven't really had much experience in. But then again, the insurance carriers are inexperienced in it as well. How do you quantify the risk of zombie haunted paintball corn mazes? Which I'm just making that up, although I'm sure there's somebody out there that's already doing that. But how do you quantify that? And that's really what most risk and premiums are based on, is knowing exactly what they're in for. What's the likelihood of someone getting hurt? What are they actually going to worry about? And, are you going to have a few hundred people on your property at any given time, like at a wedding? Or during a season, could you see thousands of people? I mean, there's a lot of agritourism venues now that the benefit is they are seeing a lot of people. And with that, they've gained brand recognition for their products. They are giving memories to these folks who may never have been anywhere in a rural setting. And they're getting to share their story. They're getting people connected to food. It's all important. And so, just because it may not already be covered under your policy, don't let that keep you from going ahead, picking up the phone, and contacting your agent to see if it's something that they can take care of for you. Obviously, it's something that we at Morrow Insurance Agency deal with. We're dealing with it on a much more regular basis now. And we're seeing that our carriers are willing to work with us on some things, and that for the things that they can't handle, we've got additional markets available. It's one of those kind of things where I want to be able to tell somebody, if you've got it in your head that you want to do something, as long as it's safe, we'll figure out a way to do it. So that's something to be thinking about. And I've got 3 days more of content coming your way. So I hope that you'll tune in again tomorrow as we talk some more about safety specifically, and about taking that first look at how to have that great safety on your agritourism farm. Thanks.